Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and we are doing a no-run-through review for Reload! Fight for Fame! The Battle Royale board game. This game's bad. This game's not great. I will say, this is kind of like a backhanded compliment. You know how those are a thing?
Oh yeah.
It is not as bad as the rules and gameplay make it out to be.
Right. It went smoother once we actually played it.
Yeah. But reading the rules and even looking at the box, I've had this on my shelf for months, and every time I've set it up 3 times and have packed it up. I just was like, I don't want to play this, and I don't know why. You know, like, because these games that are on the shelf, like that, like those unplayed ones, there's not a reason why I haven't played those. It's more of just circumstance that I'm just like, oh, okay, I just haven't broke this one out.
You've actively avoided.
I have actively avoided this one, and I backed it.
Well, I'll tell you why. A couple of things.
Yeah.
The rules are confusing.
Yeah.
And sometimes ambiguous.
Yeah.
And the misspellings and the mispronunciations that are built into it, I would go, there's no way it can be with quality this poor, there's no way it can end up being worthwhile.
Yeah.
I wonder if they fixed that on the retail version.
I don't know, yeah, because this is
it.
kind of like a COVID game. If I'm not mistaken, it went on Kickstarter around COVID, and it was delivered around COVID. So it feels like, you know how like when people work from home and they don't put a lot of effort in? Well, they worked from home when they made this game. Yeah. Like, they were just like...
And they didn't have a lot of playtesters because you don't want to get together in groups.
Right. So, and I'm not the biggest fan of Colossal games anyway. Like, none of their games really work for me. There's been like one called Almanac Road, which is just like a bunch of different worker placement games, and it's like surprisingly really good. And that one I was really hesitant on because it was Colossal Games and Scott Alms is a designer, and I was like, well, I hate your games and I hate their games, so this is probably going to suck, and it was really good. But I don't know. I don't know why I even backed this. It was cheap, and I was like, okay, a battle royale. You know, maybe because I don't play a lot of like PvP, you know, attacking kind of games anymore with a bunch of randomness. It's more Ameritrash that I've played recently, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just try it again. Yeah, it's not one that I would ever want to play again. Zach, what are your thoughts? You're ominously quiet.
Not my type of game.
Yeah.
It's...
As the sheer winner, like, your thing is like, injure, reload.
It's one of those that, like, heavily rewards attacking, but only if you do it a certain way.
Yeah.
If you do literally anything else, then just get lucky and attack someone over and over again. I mean, it's good to take the opportunities that you have, but...
Yeah.
I think that it's a little longer than it should be for the randomness in the game.
I agree.
I think the art on the board and on the player mats is ugly, and I think the box art is actually really pretty. I actually like it.
Oh, you do like the box art?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it didn't transfer very well. This looks it looks like a copy and paste of Fortnite, which they are probably marketing it to that crowd because it's obviously a multi-million-dollar industry.
Yeah.
But... maybe this is for a younger crowd who's into Fortnite. I have a friend who's into Fortnite. I think she would really like this.
Yeah.
Just because of the theme. But
it's always interesting with concepts like that because, in my mind, if you're super into one thing and something tries to mimic that, it's like you're going to scrutinize it more.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just me.
Usually you're disappointed because you didn't live up to your expectations.
Right. It's like,
but I think Fortnite's theme is actually really a low bar because, like, there's not much. It's just goofy and cheap.
Yeah.
Like, when Apex came out, I'm like, oh my god, this is so much better.
Right.
It's an actual game.
Yeah.
It's not just random bullshit that's happening all the time.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, Fortnite is definitely like IP, the Battle Royale, especially now, where it's like, oh, hey, Marvel MCU's a huge thing. Here's a big Thanos event. Here's a Galactus event. And that's fine. But yeah, I prefer games like Apex. So when looking at this, it's like, okay, it's a Battle Royale. I don't want it to be that. Because then it comes down to, well, I'll just play a Battle Royale on PC because it's going to feel like a Battle Royale. This was so surface level in that, because you can't replicate the chaos of a battle royale in a board game. You just can't.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same reason why I'm sitting here like, why don't they do roguelike games? You just can't produce that chaos, because board games have to have a step.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing real time, but then that's just kind of a whole another hiccup. So it's like, this revolved so much about randomness. Like, whenever the first event card that I drew was giving me a fame thing, I'm like, this is how this game's gonna go.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it didn't. That was like the one event that happened to do it. Everything else you had to kind of go out and earn.
Right.
But it's like, okay, well, now I'm gonna go fight you. Alright, well, I guess you just sit there while I just damage you. Like, yeah, you can do certain actions to kind of increase your combat die, but it's like, well, anyone can get to anyone at any given point. So it's like, well, I don't want to just defense up, because then I don't get to do anything. So the mechanics of the dice still don't replicate a battle royale or even a fun shoot 'em up,
Yeah.
because you just have to sit there and take it.
And you're not losing so much whenever you get attacked or if you reload that it's even really worth defending.
Right.
Right.
Because you're wasting a dice for that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only thing is, like, it's if you're defending, you're just like, okay, I guess I'm just going to move and not use any of my other dice. And
I guess unless you had a bunch of the yellow tokens. The
right.
Dropship
Yeah,
tokens.
or this
Maybe
crown
that.
token or something like that. That you are trying to defend, so you can slowly make it. But I don't know. Like, and it's not even the fact of you can be attacked from anywhere, like, because that's what I was expecting. Just, oh, well, whoever's nearby is who's going to get attacked. Or even the one strategy where Kat, you were the weakest, and she went after you, and that's how she got her injury and her kill.
Yeah.
But you didn't do anything about that. You're just like, well, here I am. Oh, Kat rolled high. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if I felt like I had better weaponry, or if I felt like, looked around the board, and if I was considering attacking you, and I would
Right.
have if you hadn't cost me a die on that turn. But I
Oh,
wasn't.
right.
But I wasn't too hopeful because you had some pretty decent numbers. I didn't think that I was going to probably beat you.
Yeah. And the other thing is,
So
like,
I was just collecting fame off the board,
right.
and
Yeah,
that
the
worked for
loot
me,
thing.
and it didn't
I-
pan out as a winning strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying. I mean, the game is obviously about attacking, so Zach's track is what it should look like. And I was like, okay, which is obviously, I wasn't expecting any other high-end strategy of like, ooh, I'm gonna go trap build, I'm gonna try and win that way. It's like, no, clearly that's not what the game is designed for, so that's not really getting a knock. But whenever it's a shoot-'em-up game, when you're shot in Apex or Fortnite or anything, you don't just sit there and go, well, kill me. Like, you get to shoot back, you get to fight back, and it's like, the only chance that they replicate in that is, oh, I rolled more skulls than you.
Right.
So, yay me, and...
What that means is I didn't take all my actions on my turn.
Yeah,
I saved them up for in case somebody attacks me.
Yep.
Maybe I'll roll a 6.
right. Which, if that was the case, people just wouldn't attack you.
Right.
Oh, he has a bunch of defense dice. Yeah, not worth it. I'm just going to go after someone who doesn't have defense dice and they have a weak, action pool.
And if they had added a mechanism where you just dropped your loot like you would in a Fortnite, I think it would just feel bad.
Right.
It
Yeah.
would slow down the game.
Yeah, because then, oh, hey, like,
And
if,
you're like,
if
oh, well, I'm screwed now. I can't really do much.
right, if you had, like,
Attacking
player
those.
tokens and you had to, like, be like, okay, here's my loot, and then take your stack and then, put it there to indicate that that's what that is. Yeah. I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But, ultimately, for whatever they were aiming for, if they were trying to make something similar to a shooting game, or if they were trying to make... I don't know what the fuck they were trying to make, honestly, here. Whatever it is their goal was, their rules and icons worked against it.
Yeah.
Like, you mentioned it's longer than it needs to be, and especially for the randomness, absolutely.
We kept having to look up rules because the icons don't explain it.
Yeah, like, I've read that rulebook 3 times trying to be like, what the fuck is combat about?
Yeah.
Like, why is this so stupidly complex that it's like, is my brain just trying to make it more complex than it actually is? Or did they just poorly explain it? They poorly explained it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as difficult as the words make it seem.
Yeah. Well, even then, it's like, the first thing Zach does is like, I'm going to throw a grenade. Then it's like, all right, let's take 5
Yes.
minutes to figure out what the hell that card does.
We had to look up every icon on the card
Yeah. And
to figure out what they did.
yeah, and I get it. Like, icons are meant to be a cost-saving issue because I think you have to pay for so many lines or words or letters or whatever it is.
Pages, certainly.
well, that and you don't have to translate your board game.
And so I usually don't mind icons if, after reading the rules, it becomes extremely apparent. Perseverance that we
Yeah.
played, where it's like, this is clearly what this is. Like, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and I have to look up a few, but I can at least infer kind of what this icon is about. One card, we're like, what the hell does this do? Literally had to go to the forums to be like, because other people don't get it. And in a game that's probably meant to be quick, fast-paced, oh, ha ha ha, yeah, I have this gun, oh, I teleport to you, boo, yay, oh, this is my fame track, yada yada. Whoa, we spent a lot of time looking at this sheet, just trying to figure out what the hell it does.
Right.
I think if the camera pulled out a little bit on this game and it was more goofy like Cosmic, and
Yeah.
it was 15 minutes quicker, 15 to 20 minutes quicker,
Yeah.
and the scoring track was a little more simplistic.
Yeah.
And what happened on the board was a little simplistic, or random stuff happened. I think it could be made into a lot more enjoyable game.
Yeah.
It'd be more of a family weight game.
True.
At that point, probably. But
Yeah.
I mean, that would
Yeah.
maybe. It seems like it's in between in two different things that it shouldn't be.
Right. It wants to be like lighthearted and like beer and pretzels, but also still wants to be tactful and strategic. And so they try to have their cake and eat it too, and just messed up on all aspects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there was a point throughout the game where I was like, okay, the dice are like, I wasn't hating that system. Like, inherently, it's like, okay, I want to move I put a 4 there. I want to move multiple times, but it's deterring value. Then those dice move over, and so that's just kind of what a person has to beat. Because clearly they couldn't do. I mean, that's essentially, for me, it's meant to be your hitbox. Is what it sounds like. Whenever you shoot someone, it's like, oh, I do more damage if I hit you in the head. But if you're running and I hit you in the legs, it's not going to do as much damage. That's their simplistic way of trying to do RNG with something like that. It just doesn't it's not thematic.
Right.
Like, it doesn't translate that well for me.
Yeah.
I will say I'll 100% take this system over.
Random roll.
Now let's compare.
Yeah.
I'll take that over, take this over anything that has to do with, oh, I'm attacking you. Well, let's see who gets lucky. Because at least I had some decision over what my dice over here are.
Right.
And then the dice you save are then, okay, maybe I can try and beat you out on some skulls.
Right.
So the dice system I don't really hate. It's just everything else around it. Just kind of sucks ass. And traps are stupid. Traps are really, really stupid. Like, I had to waste an entire turn just to surround you with traps.
Yeah.
And then,
Which I was going to walk right into one anyway. The one you had before that turn.
oh, this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, clearly he's going to go around. That seems to be the only reason.
No, I wanted to see what happened.
Gotcha.
First of all, to test it. Second of all, I just wanted to get back to the center, and that was the easy path to do it.
Right.
And it didn't seem like it was going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Just to walk through it, even if I lost.
Right.
And I was right. It wasn't.
Well, yeah, because it's like, if you lose, like, if you outright lose to it, then, then it's like, oh, I get an injury and I get a trap. And I think it actually means you can't run. Like, you can't move anymore. If you beat it, or if you equalize it,
Oh, that's right.
it's
We
still
forgot
an
that.
injury and a trap, but you can continue out your turn. And then if you outright beat it, you actually get a trap, fame thing,
yeah.
and it just goes away.
That's too much to add to something that probably
ultimately-
would work better as a lighthearted kill each other game.
Well, because that's the thing is, like, the trap fame things are so little.
Yeah.
Like, and because it's obvious, like,
It'd be better if they were cards that you got a free action for.
yeah, literally anything that isn't so obvious of, okay,
There's
well,
a trap.
clearly they're going around. I mean, yeah, like, you could, if you go trap or build heavy, you could go, all right, boom, and then, boom, or sorry, like, if someone was here, then you could do this,
Yeah.
and then have a trap there, so the only way is forward.
Yeah.
But man, that's just, and then all of a
But then
sudden
they can take an action to destroy those, right?
they can to just outright destroy the wall, or you can move there and be like, paper. Oh, yep. You got it. I have never been so embarrassed to teach a rule than explain how traps are rock, paper, scissors. That is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
They should have just made it easy and have you roll a dice or something.
I would have gladly taken that.
See, it makes me think that the game was designed in layers. First, they came up with this dice combat concept.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, so instead of just making it random rolls, let's make it tied to other actions that they want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, and they played that a few times. And they said, okay, well, that's not complicated enough. Let's throw in something else.
That's not confusing enough.
Let's have some events.
Yeah.
So every turn, something happens every turn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to affect all of them.
Yeah, and that's fine because that's reminiscent. The contamination is the fog encroaching, and then Apex has loot drops and stuff. That was fine for me.
Sure, but they play that, and then they go, okay, well, obviously we need a big array of weapons and defense things, so we need to put in a bunch of cards and ways they can get that. Okay.
Higher tiers.
Now let's go ahead and throw some fame around that they can just grab, because ultimately that's the real goal, but that's
Yeah.
not really how they're going to achieve it.
Right.
But it's a nice concession. And then, what else can we do? Traps.
Yeah, traps.
Let's add traps.
Ooh, okay, and then at
And
one
they didn't
point,
stop because they played it so much that they
well,
knew it.
because those two designers were doing. I mean, it was COVID, so they're just doing fat lines of coke, or they're high off the vaccines, so they're just like, they're playing Apex. Oh, a character has a wall. Okay, walls can be in.
Yeah.
And see what else they've made. Do you know what else they made?
The designers?
Yeah.
No idea. I know Colossal Games more than I know the designers.
But it just feels like something that they added on.
They played every single battle royale and tried to take snippets from that
Maybe.
and throw it in.
Francois made So Clover, which is nearly the game of the year.
So did you say So Clover?
Oh, no, that's Romain. Ron Francois.
Okay, I was like, I'm like, no.
That's all
It's like that's a weird split for that.
That's all
designer.
there.
Because like here's the other thing. The Fame track, which at the end of the rulebook they explain it tells a story. You know what? I will give them something like that. You can look at that and kind of get a representation of how you played the entire game. That's not horrible.
Oh yeah.
But it extends the game longer. Literally, we had to go one full round for Zach to win, even though we all knew he was winning. But because of the track, because I even checked, I was going to be so like, you know what? You're barely in it. Fuck it, let's just call it. But no, you were still in your orange, and I'm like, yeah, he just has to get one more token. One more stupid token that we could clearly see. So, if we liked the game, that would have been like, okay, maybe Cat will attack him, then I'll attack him, and then you'll attack him, because that'll make him drop the thing that he... But then he would have just been like, anyway, I'm going to go in here, pick this up, and run around, and like, it wouldn't have mattered.
Francois has only made Room 25.
Never played it.
It's from 2013.
So, because the Fame track is... Of the different lengths of the tokens,
Yeah.
makes the game longer, and it's not really that interesting.
Yeah.
But then the game would be way too random if it was pure player elimination. What did the other guy make? Nothing.
Nothing. This is his picture.
that was his attitude. They took that while he was designing the game.
Yeah.
That's his. So I don't give a fuck.
Looks like me. Just having a good time.
Yeah. So it's like, it's way too random and shit for it to be pure player elimination.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's unlike, if you go Apex and you go to a high drop area, I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times I just get fucking dicked and die immediately. But then I go, oh, exit game, and then I just jump right back in. So you can't do that here.
Right.
You just have to sit here and be like, well, thanks, I got fucking dicked. All right, now I have to wait for you guys to kill each other off. Mm-hmm. And then... None of you guys have played Adrenaline, have you?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So it's a game by CGE. It is essentially PvP as a resource kind of game. You get different types of bullets that your gun uses.
Okay.
And it's one of those where as you deal damage, you have tokens and you put them on a person's health bar. And when they die, whoever dealt the most damage gets the max number of points and it goes down. You respawn, but you are now worth less points. So it's a great PvP game because it's like we're all worth 10 points. Okay, Brett kills me, He gets 10 points, you get 5. Okay, well now my max is no longer 10 points.
Right.
So it's diminishing value.
Right.
So one person doesn't get ganged up on the whole time. And that game is just such a better shooter. Like, you feel like you're utilizing really cool weapons, maneuver around about a battlefield. This one just didn't have that.
No.
So if I want a shooter game, I'm going to play that.
Yeah.
No.
And if I want to play Battle Royale, I'm very much going to play Warzone, Apex. And those are the only two I play.
No.
So, what do you guys think of the items? We haven't really talked about those. There's 3 tiers. Clearly, the level 3 are better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have some cool ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're fine.
Yeah.
I think that they work.
You're not really seeing a lot, especially if you get a tier 3.
Right. It's based off events that higher tiers come in. I mean, like Sniper Disintegrator, you get 1 shot with it. It's a 2, and it you deal a wound, and as it's special, and choose 1 beacon or equipment for the target player to destroy for each destroyed icon. So you can actually destroy one of their equipment if you shoot them with this.
That's interesting.
And it's range 0 to 2. Quadra Launcher just rolls 4 dice, and then you get a 2. Doesn't injury. So chances are you're going to injure them on top of comparing. Warrior Chainsaw, your highest and lowest value die become a 4.
Interesting variety.
Yeah, like, I mean, and the art on the cards I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like, for the things.
Yeah.
Johnny's... They
Sorry.
misspelled... maybe they didn't. I don't know. Johnny is spelled Jonhy.
Yeah.
Johnny's Bullhorn.
John He.
Johnny!
Yeah. I've
Yeah. So, I mean, they do have...
never seen it spelled that way.
Yeah, they have quite, a range of weapons.
That could be a French thing, could it?
Yeah, that's kind of why I wasn't really harping on it, but it's a French thing, but I bought the English version.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of typos in the rulebook.
Yeah.
The other thing I also didn't really like, I don't know what your guys' thoughts were, I didn't like that the fog or the
Contamination.
the contamination, the toxin. I get what they were doing because it does slowly encroach, but once again, you don't. This needed to be almost real time, I feel like, because it's like, oh, haha, the toxin came out while you're still in it. Well, it needs to wait till my turn, so then I can run out. So it just never felt like it was ever a factor, which it very much is in all the other modes, or in all the other...
Yeah. Well, if it was a longer game, then it would certainly cover more spaces. It would be very difficult to stay away from.
Yeah.
But I don't want it longer.
Well, because what it's supposed to be... Yeah, exactly. What it's supposed to be, like it is in Battle Royales, is these become... You avoid them.
Yeah.
And then eventually...
Or you walk through them quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, you take some of the damage, but it isn't immediate damage. So eventually, just by the way the contamination cards will come out, everything will be contaminated except for the middle. Just because they... And then...
We're just slugging
And then
it
we're
out.
all there just slugging it out, but it's not going to make it that far.
No.
I don't know. Ultimately, my hesitations on playing it turned out to be correct. And it's not great.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else?
Nope.
Anything fun or cool to say? All right. Well, I mean, there are a bunch of different maps, I should mention, which at least they didn't make you pay. Like a lot of these games, like the actual Battle Royales. It's like, 2 maps? Yeah, but we're doing the season... Did you buy the season pass?
Did you get the Seafarers expansion?
Yeah, so, I mean, they have mazes, and they have, like, healing pods, and they have portals that you could jump through.
That's cool.
So they're there. There are 2 expansions.
That we're not going to open?
No. And even though one of the modes is literally one of my favorite shooting modes, is capture the flag and rumble. Rumble, add the necessary. There's 3 Ds in add. The necessary components to increase the player count from 5 to 6. Absolutely not. And then capture the flag adds the capture the flag team royale game mode.
Yep.
So flags are now a thing.
I could see if you did like a 6-player capture the flag with 3 versus 3, that being a lot of fun. It would take too long,
Yeah.
but I could see that being fun.
Yeah, if that was your
game, yes, that would be fun.
Yeah, because that would actually become like the fucking people trying to bring the flag back, and it's like, oh, okay, flank them. Yeah, maybe team mode is the way it is. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be played, and PvP just sucks. I will not find out. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you guys give Reload Fight for Fame? I don't care who starts. We're probably going to be...
It's not absolutely horrible and awful. It's just got some major flaws. Definitely below average.
Yeah.
3.
3. Yeah. I don't know what's more frustrating. The fact that it's such a simple game that they're like right in the middle of like they missed both the marks, and on top of the fact that the rules are so confusing that it's like I hate rule diving. Like for okay, tell you all how to play. All right, I want to play this card.
Yeah, it breaks the energy of the game.
Yeah. So.
And then it turns into, like, the first time you teach it, you're just not even able to enjoy the game because you're
Exactly.
spending the entire time in the rule book.
Exactly. Because it's like, oh, what does this do? I don't fucking know. Or the one time whenever I was like, it's like, oh yeah, hey, this did an injury to you. From where? I don't know, Brett, just take the fucking injury.
Well, from this set of dice or from this set of
Yeah, no,
dice?
just place a die on the injury thing. I don't care.
It's too late. He's going to win anyway.
I know, right? Yeah, Zach, where are you at?
5.
You're at a 5. You're in
I don't-
average.
I don't think it's a horrible game. I don't think it's a great game. I think it's right in between.
Yeah.
I can see potential in the game. I can see with maybe this designer's other games them making a great game.
Yeah.
But this seems like a kind of a sophomoric effort and just not having everything dialed in. Maybe play testing too much, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is one of those games. It's like Munchkin. Like there's certain people who play a game and they're like they play it with the right group, and I can see that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That having a lot of fun. Like you get a rapport going with the game, and then you can play it over and over again. And I can see some people enjoying this game as far as that goes, but it's not for me.
Yeah, no, funny enough, just like the designers on, missing both marks, I'm actually going to split the middle. I'm going to give it a 4. Like, it didn't actively make me mad, but I remember multiple times me just being extremely annoyed just because of the way it was designed. I think it's just, it's we're going to see, I feel like we're going to see a lot of these as they start to deliver of, this was a COVID game, Like how people have COVID babies. Oh, I'm stuck inside all day. Might as well just have another kid.
The first thing I thought of when I saw this box, that white insert in the middle,
Yeah.
played Mechanica recently.
Okay.
Same exact feeling. I give it the same score.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is awful.
Right.
And I think it was released about the same time Reload was, maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some theme around it, but it's very surface level. It's very reminiscent to Apex. Apex is kind of like a Gladiator sponsorship game, Hunger Games kind of
That
style.
deck building game. Are you talking about the game or the
Apex, the Battle Royale.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Apex Predator.
No, that's a good solo deck builder.
Oh, okay.
No, nothing like this. So yeah, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's it. That's the game. So let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.